So today we've got the Fesley FEP760 right here in front of me. As you can see, this is a beautiful looking wood style keyboard. But today the question really is this a good purchase for the money? And is this the right keyboard for you? That is the question that I'm going to try to help you answer in this review video. We're going to talk about the look and feel, the keybed itself, the piano sounds. Is this a good enough sounding keyboard to play through the speakers attached? We're also going to talk about the capability and the functions, other built-in sounds, and of course, very importantly, the actual price of this keyboard. So, with all that info, hopefully you will be able to decide whether this is the right keyboard for you. All right, let's dive right into it. So number one, is this a portable or stationary keyboard? Well, actually in terms of weight, it's surprisingly easy to lift. I can actually do it myself, no problem. So whether or not this was in your house or you wanted to use it as a gigging keyboard, it's really very doable for either one. However, what you should note is that these wood style legs with this wooden finish, they're actually metal, but if you were going to attach those are attached with screws. So the screws are actually going to make it tough to bring this around. Obviously what you would need to do is, instead of using these legs, use a portable stand. And to me that's actually fine because it would be very cool to have this wooden finish on a gig. And that's something I've actually never been able to do before. Usually my keyboards are just more digital looking in general. So obviously I would give this a very high rating in terms of the look and aesthetic, especially when it comes in comparison to the price. When you're up close to it, like I am right here, I can tell by looking at it that this most likely is not real wood, but in general, this is a very nice looking keyboard. It's a very beautiful design, and I appreciate that very much. And that look is especially nice when we consider the price. I would very much say that this is in the lower price, most affordable group of digital keyboards on the market right now. So list price is actually $479.99. Right now, if you actually go to the website of Fesley, which is just fesleymusic.com, it's actually on sale for $429.99. So for a beautiful looking digital weighted keyboard, that's a pretty nice deal. However, I do still want to talk about some other aspects of this keyboard that may or may not make it the keyboard that you want to purchase. Obviously, super important is the keybed itself. How does this feel to play? Now, obviously, I have played many digital keyboards in my life, and I've spent a lot of time on different, big competitive companies and understanding and getting to know their feels. So I have to say that part of what makes this keyboard so light, based on my experience, would be we are sacrificing a bit of quality when it comes to the actual keybed itself. So in comparison to a lot of the keybeds on the market that I have played, this is certainly low on my list in terms of feeling like a really quality, real acoustic piano matching feel. Now it's not bad. I still feel like it's fairly responsive and I'm able to get nice dynamics when I actually play this keyboard as MIDI and take sounds from my computer. Right now I'm actually using Pianoteq and sometimes also I use Keyscape as well. And so we can get some really nice response here. So again, I can enjoy playing this keybed, but by the same token, I think it does feel a little bit reflective of the low price of this keyboard. It doesn't feel like a premium keyboard. The actual feel of it is a little bit light and imprecise, and even the finish on top of the keys, it feels a little bit waxy as opposed to clean or wooden, and a lot of the more expensive keyboards really get this down. They have a beautiful feel to the keys themselves. So at the end of the day, I would say that, on the plus side, very low weight, very low cost. However, the keybed does suffer. It is not a top quality keybed in my opinion. That said, could I enjoy playing it for gigs? Absolutely. I use my Piano de Voyage for a lot of gigs, And this, as a keybed, is still going to be a significantly superior experience to an ultra-portable keyboard like the Piano de Voyage, which uses purely spring-loaded action. That said, if what you're looking for is as close of an experience as possible to playing a real acoustic piano, I definitely would not recommend this be your choice. I think it's worth spending even a few hundred extra on a different keyboard to get a really good quality keybed. I'll give it one other positive keybed-wise. It's not a super loud keybed, and that is always a really important consideration as well. Now, just a side note, heads up, I've been only using this keyboard today, so it's still very new. It wouldn't surprise me, I don't want to say this is going to happen, but it wouldn't surprise me if the keybed got a little bit louder over time. The same thing has happened to me with some really nice quality keybeds. Once I really break them in, sometimes some of the keys get a little bit louder. Next up, very important thing, let's talk about the actual built-in piano sounds. Would I recommend this as something you can play just out of the speakers of the keyboard itself? So TLDR, I'm not a fan of the piano sound here. It feels very digital and unresponsive. I don't feel like it's easy to get dynamics. So when I first unboxed this piano and started playing it just through the speakers with the built-in sound, I actually felt like immediately I was not going to enjoy this experience. And it made me wonder, what is the quality of this keyboard in general and this keybed? So of course what I did was I plugged it in via USB and opened it up as MIDI through Pianotech. And as I already showed you, the experience is far, far superior. You can actually get really nice dynamics, and it's great, honestly. However, again, direct piano sound here through the speakers, it sounds canned, it sounds tinny, and I would not recommend this as a turn on and play piano. On the other hand, the speakers do get nice and loud, so that's a positive. Now, although Sound 001, the main acoustic piano sound, is not great, it does have some other sounds built in that are definitely superior to that. This is the second sound, and it's a much more mellow piano, and I dig it a lot more. Still, when we hold the sustain pedal, you get this almost digital recurring loop of the sound, as opposed to it really feeling like the piano is just decaying naturally. So in terms of the built-in sounds, I'm not going to say I'm a huge fan. This is a keyboard that I would recommend running through MIDI. And if that's something you're cool with, it's something that I personally do, honestly, even with my favorite keyboards at this point. If that's something you're okay with, then I could recommend this. But if you want a keyboard that is going to be plug and play with the speakers of the keyboard and the sounds built in, I cannot recommend this to you. Now, of course, I do want to talk a little bit more about the price itself and how that compares to other keyboards on the market. So as I said, right now at fesleymusic.com, this is available for $429.99. That is a really good price when it comes to a beautiful looking digital piano. So in some ways, of course, you're getting what you pay for. The keybed suffers a bit, but what really suffers, in my opinion, is actually the sound quality of the built-in sounds. And so I could not recommend this again if you were actually relying on the built-in sounds. On the other hand, the fact that it has this beautiful wooden finish and is as light as it is a huge positive in my opinion. So would I actually recommend this to you? Well, here is who I would recommend this to. If you are looking for a low budget, low priced piano that looks nice and you're totally willing to run it through a different MIDI patch, so run it through a software version of piano sounds, then this could actually be a really good option. For example, I could see myself, if I was in need of a second piano or third piano for some reason because I wanted to play with several people at once and I wanted someone to have a decent piano playing experience, but I didn't want to spend a ton of money, I could get this as another piano. Super easy to move around, it's lightweight, and it looks beautiful for video or gigging. It's got a nice aesthetic look, especially for the price. Would I recommend it to you as your only single at-home digital piano? Well, again, only if you're willing to run that sound through some kind of MIDI plugin. That could be through an iPad or a computer. If you are relying purely on the built-in sounds, Personally, I would not recommend this. I think there are much better options available on the market. So a lot of this really depends on your price range and budget and what you are looking for. So hopefully that gives you a really clear idea of whether this keyboard is worth using for you specifically and the different use cases that I would and would not recommend it for. At the end of the day, I think because it's such a low price product, I personally am able to forgive some of the quality that I'm not getting because frankly, I'm not paying for it. And there are enough good things about it that I would actually happily use this as a secondary keyboard that's easy to move around and again, run it through MIDI on the computer for a really nice piano sound as opposed to those built-in sounds. All right, thank you so much for watching. If you got some good information from this video, please hit that like button. And if you're new here, please be sure to hit subscribe. We've got many, many more videos coming along and I know you won't regret it. All right, thank you so much and I'll see you next time.